Hello, this is Miss Pat from Samuel's Public Library. This week in Science Scouts, we're going to learn about motion and what Isaac Newton used to have to say about that. Our story for this week is going to be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Way up at the North Pole, there is a special place called Christmas Town. Families of reindeer live in cozy caves. Elves work at the factory, making presents for children. In Santa's castle, Mrs. Claus makes sure he eats plenty so that his holiday suit fits just right. Everyone loves living in Christmas Town, except for one year when the weather was so bad that Christmas was almost canceled. One spring, Donner, the lead reindeer who helped pull Santa's sleigh each Christmas, became a proud papa. He and his wife named their son Rudolph. Soon after little Rudolph was born, his tiny red nose began to glow. "Great bouncing icebergs," exclaimed Santa when he saw this. "If Rudolph's nose continued to grow," Santa said, "he would never make the sleigh team when he grew up." Donner taught Rudolph all the things a young reindeer needed to know, especially to beware of the abominable snow monster. All the while he hid Rudolph's nose under a cover and hoped it would stop blowing. As the months went by, the elves were busy making Christmas toys. All the elves loved their work, except for one. Harry just didn't have a knack for toy making. Maybe that's because he dreamed of becoming a dentist one day. This made him feel like a misfit among his fellow elves. Rudolph felt like a misfit too. He didn't like the nose cover that he had to wear. Without it, his nose glowed as brightly as ever, but Donner was determined to keep that a secret. On the day of the annual reindeer games, Rudolph met Clarice, a pretty young doe. When Clarice said she liked him, Rudolph was so excited he flew through the air with joy. Flying was exactly what Comet, the coach, was trying to teach the young reindeer. Everyone was amazed by Rudolph, until his nose fell off. All the other reindeer, except for Clarice, laughed at Rudolph and called him names. Comet said, "From now on, we won't let Rudolph join in any reindeer games." Rudolph went off by himself, feeling sad. At the toy factory, Hermie was having trouble too. He skipped elf practice so he could fix Doll's teeth, thinking he might fit in better that way. When the foreman found out, he yelled, "Come to elf practice and learn to wiggle your ears and chuckle warmly and do important stuff like that, or you'll never fit in." But Hermie couldn't. He ran away instead. Before long, Hermie and Rudolph met, and they shared their stories. They decided to go off into the world together. "You don't mind my red nose?" asked Rudolph. "Not if you don't mind my being a dentist," replied Hermie. "It's a deal," said Rudolph. On their first day, they heard the abominable snowman's terrible roar. "He must have seen your nose," cried Hermie, and the two friends tried to stay far ahead of the monster. Soon they met Yukon Cornelius and his dog sled team. Yukon was looking for gold, but he found Rudolph and Hermie instead. Then Rudolph's glowing nose led the abominable snow monster to find them all. Thanks to Yukon's quick thinking, they escaped on an ice floe. The ice floe carried them to the island of misfit toys, a place filled with odd toys. The ruler of the island, King Moonracer, said, "A toy is never truly happy until it is loved by a child." Rudolph promised the king that someday he would tell Santa about all these homeless toys. Maybe Santa would include them in his Christmas deliveries to children around the world. Rudolph asked King Moonracer if he and his friends could stay on the island of misfit toys. "This island is not for living things," said the king. "It is only for misfit toys." How do you like that, said Yukon. Even among misfits, we're misfits. The king let the friends rest overnight before they moved on. When Hermie and Yukon were asleep, Rudolph slipped away, knowing that his nose would put him in constant danger with the abominable snowman. He didn't want to be the cause of any harm to his friends. The abominable snow monster did indeed find Rudolph because of his glowing nose. He chased the young reindeer everywhere. During that time, Rudolph grew up. One day, he realized it was time to go home. Meanwhile, Rudolph's parents and Clarice had been out looking for him ever since he left. It was now 2 days before Christmas Eve, and Santa told Rudolph that without Donner, he'd never be able to get his sleigh off the ground. Rudolph was determined to find his parents and Clarice. As he began to look for them, the storm of all storms hit. Thick snowflakes fell, making it hard to see. Rudolph had an idea where his parents and Clarice were, in the cave of the abominable snow monster. He made his way there despite the storm and found Clarice in the monster's clutches. "Put her down," Rudolph cried. The abominable snow monster did, and went after Rudolph himself. Yukon and Hermie, who had been searching for their friend, arrived at the cave just in time. Quickly, they lured the monster outside and knocked him out with a big rock. Then Hermie removed all of the monster's teeth. Finally, Hermie got to be a dentist. When the abominable snow monster woke up, Yukon pushed him back and back and back until the monster, Yukon, and his dogs all slipped over the edge of a cliff. Rudolph and his friends and family were heartbroken when they returned to Christmas Town. When the others heard the entire story, they realized that those who are different are important too. They all apologized to Rudolph and Hermie. The foreman even told Hermie he could open up his own dentist office, and Santa agreed to find homes for the misfit toys. Just then there was a knock at the door. It was Yukon, his dogs, and the abominable snow monster. Even though they had all gone over the cliff, the abominable snow monster was able to bounce, so they all landed safely. Now the monster was no longer mean. He even got a job. He placed the star on top of the Christmas tree. Everyone cheered. The next day was Christmas Eve, but the weather was so bad that Santa could not fly his sleigh safely through it. He reluctantly started to tell everyone that Christmas was going to be canceled for the first time ever. But then he realized that there was a way through the storm after all. "Rudolph," Santa said, "you and that wonderful nose of yours. That nose could cut through the murkiest storm. Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" Rudolph replied, "It will be an honor, sir." The sleigh was loaded. The reindeer got into place and Santa climbed aboard. Rudolph took the lead and the sleigh took off. Santa's first stop, the island of misfit toys. Everyone had an extra Merry Christmas that year, and Rudolph went down in history as the greatest reindeer of all time. All right. So even though that was more about acceptance and people that are different and whatnot, we're going to learn about motion and why things move. Okay, so Newton's third law of motion, and he had a couple of laws, he obviously had more than one, said for every action there's an opposite and equal reaction. So if you look at the picture here, this one shows you a balloon, and as the air goes down, the balloon goes up. It's an opposite reaction. That's what the law is. For every action of the air rushing down, there's going to be a reaction. And then it shows you that even with you walking, you're pushing down on the ground and the ground is pushing up. Okay, this little boy is jumping off the boat. He's kind of really lucky that the boat is pushing him back up, because if his foot just pushed down, he'd end up in the water. That wouldn't be so fun. Okay. So when you blow up the balloon in our Rudolph race, you're filling it up with air that's under pressure. Right? When the air escapes from the back of the balloon, the escaping air is going to make a force on the balloon and it's going to move it forward. So it's going to push out. That means the balloon's going to go forward. So if the air pushes out the back, the balloon's going to move this way. This is physics, believe it or not. Now, Newton's second law, if you want to read the second law, you can read the top. It tells you the acceleration of an object as produced by a net force is proportional to the magnitude of net force, blah, 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 blah. I sound like Charlie Brown's people, right? All right, so simply put, if we use more force, an object is going to move faster, right? The heavier an object, the slower it moves, unless you apply even more force. So what that really means, okay, is that, and this experiment is perfect for demonstrating this law, you're going to learn quickly, the more stuff you put on your balloon to decorate it, the heavier it's going to be. And if you don't blow it up very much, you only blow it up a little bit, and you put a lot of stuff on it, it isn't going to go very far. Because that weight of all the paper and stuff that you put on it is going to weigh it down and slow it down. That's what this means, okay? So if you blow it up a lot, you put a lot of air and pressure into that balloon, don't pop it. And then you don't put so much stuff on it and weigh it all down, then it's going to go further. Okay, so how much you blow it up affects the outcome. Now they did this balloon race. We're going to do a reindeer balloon race. They did this for Halloween. So all this stuff that's all over the balloon, that's going to kind of slow it down. They did a turkey. This is the fat turkey. This is the turkey when he's not fat. Right? It looks like he has a lot on him, but look how much they blew up the balloon. So if they blow up the balloon a lot, he's going to go pretty far. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do our reindeer. We're going to have antlers, 2 eyes, and a nose. We're not really going to put a whole lot on him. Okay? So this is what we're going to make today. And we're going to get to race them for the holidays. Okay, but you could make any kind of thing you want. You could decorate the balloon however you want. You could try it without decorating it, and then you could add stuff to it and see which way, does it go faster that way? Right, so let's go get our balloons ready. Okay, I want to just show you what they have done. This is my granddaughter, Aurora. She has made hers. Okay, so you blow the balloon up. You're going to have a clamp, okay, to put on the back. Do not tie it because it needs to be able to come out. So when I tell her, she's going to take the clamp off. Okay, you're going to have to glue the stuff on. You don't want to glue it down. Okay, so see this part is still flappy. And then she's got a nose. You guys are going to get a pom-pom and real eyeballs, or stickers actually. But I didn't have those at home for her to try. You guys will glue on a red nose and put on your stickers. Anakin, show them yours.
I have a red balloon.
Okay, so this is Anakin, and this is his. Okay, again, he's got a clamp. Now, let me show you how we're going to attach them. Okay, we're going to attach them to the chairs that we have right behind us. Now, you guys don't need 4 chairs. I did set up 4 chairs, but you could use a doorknob and 1 chair. Okay, I don't know if you can actually see that we have string here. Okay, and we have a chair back there. A chair back there, and we have a straw. Okay, so I do want to show you that we have the straw. Okay, and that's the straw, and we're going to tape our Rudolph to that, and then we're going to race them. All right, so let's get set up. Okay, so we have attached them, and I want to show you how we have attached them. Okay, we've taped them to the balloon. Okay, they're both taped to the balloon. So now we are going to watch as they tape. All right, go ahead. Ooh, one didn't go. All right, so
This was stuck onto it.
so they might not have let go too far, and your tape came off. But these are things you guys can experiment with. Sometimes it takes a couple of tries to get them to work. All right, we're going to keep working on it, and we'll let you know if we get it. But you guys, please take pictures. Have fun. Practice with them, okay? Have a good one. Bye.